night. Are you ready?
Are you ready for the podcast? Whole lot we gon' broadcast. Dropping gems, these are all facts. Shooting flicks like Men in Black. Are you ready for the podcases? Hitting every spot, Dalmatian. Taking off like a spaceship. Podcast is not basic. 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 Let's go. Podcast is not basic.
From beginning to end, 365 days of the year. I want the same old love, yeah. What's up? What's up, baby?
Hey,
Welcome
man.
to the ride, baby. Hey, welcome,
Happy
man.
birthday to Anita Baker.
Hey, man, you damn right. Yo, welcome to the Podcases episode 28. Politics, you know what I'm saying? As usual, man. You got the originators of Opinionated-Facts, man. You got your guy Fif here.
CY in the building.
In the building, bro. Salute, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like you alluded to at the start of the show, man, we want to send a very special happy birthday week to Miss Anita Baker. You know, I'm a huge fan of Miss Anita Baker, and so
How old is Anita, man?
I just want to say happy birthday to her, man. So we do a podcast style. Happy birthday. Special shout out from the podcasts to Miss Anita Baker. Happy birthday, Anita. Happy birthday week. You know what I'm saying? We salute you. We salute your music. Thank you for everything you have done for Black music, baby girl. We appreciate you. And happy birthday from the podcasts. You know what I'm saying? We love you very much.
2 questions, man. 2 questions.
Sure. What you got, bro?
How old is Anita and how old is that picture?
One thing we're not going to do is disparage Miss Anita Baker on her birthday
I'm
week.
just asking.
Because I already know
I'm
I already know where you're going with this. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to disparage Miss Anita Baker on her birthday week. We love her. We love all the music that she's done. She's an artist,
Yeah.
and I'm one of her biggest fans, man. And you know, you talking about we losing that opportunity for Planet Shitness, man. We may lose opportunity to speak to Miss Anita Baker if you keep going the way you're going.
I'm sorry. Happy birthday, Miss Baker.
Thank you. We love you, Anita. Happy birthday, sweetheart. You know what I'm saying? What's good, Si? How you doing, man? Happy Sunday.
Man, Patrick Mahomes goes down.
Down. He goes down. Y'all was so happy, man.
Hey, Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce.
We lost Tom Brady this week, but we gained Joe Burrow. Salute to JB. Salute
Joe
to
Cool.
him, man.
Joe Cool. You know the thing about it, man. It's not even the teams that be getting me. You know what it is for me?
Mm-hmm.
It's the fans, Joe.
What you mean?
The fans get on my nerves, man. like you, I don't have no beef with Patrick Mahomes, but then the fans get to going, and then you got to have a beef with him and Travis Kelce when he made a little catch and he doing the shimmy and all that. He can shimmy all the way back home and practice for the summer. Joe Burrow say, hey man, them Bengals, Joe, they like that young intern who just like Puff Daddy, just don't care, gonna come in there and don't know what they can't do, so they can almost do anything. You know what I mean?
Man, that's a dangerous team to let into the playoffs, man. A team like that, hot like that, got a quarterback that's got a chip on his shoulder, man. And you know he is outstanding, bro. Salute to the Cincinnati damn Bengals,
man.
Yo, man, welcome to the bowl, baby. That's going to be exciting. Whoever they play is going to be exciting. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, you remember the Icky Shuffle?
Yes, I do. I do remember that shit. That was one of the most that was awful, and you were doing it just as awful as they did.
That was the last time they've been in the Super Bowl, man.
Rhythmless Nation, side.
Icky Woods.
Icky Woods. Yo, man. So welcome, episode 28, politics, man. As usual. Yo, man. It's been an outstanding week, man. You know, it's been a crazy week, man. You know, we're getting down to 2 things about to happen here in the next couple of weeks: the Super Bowl and the day you love the most, Valentine's Day, man. So we gotta gear up for that. And so next week on our show, we're gonna give away some prizes to 3 lucky young ladies to help them kind of celebrate Valentine's Day from Sean McCain, her nice collection there. We're gonna promote that and give 3 lucky young ladies something really nice from the podcasts to celebrate Valentine's Day. Date or no date, we will help you celebrate.
You got to put it on a shirt. Date or no date, we'll help you
Date
celebrate.
or no date, we're gonna help you celebrate. You know what I'm saying?
speaking of rhyming,
Mhm.
do you have your 5-minute freestyle, or you the people said they wanted to see it. You got you got a rag on your head. I figured like so, you got your chains out. Your chains out. Got a rag on your head.
Oh man,
I didn't know that was.
I'll be honest with you, Si. I totally forgot about that, bro. I really did, man. I totally forgot about that. So I apologize that I don't have my material ready. It's been a crazy week.
Material.
Yeah, I don't have my material ready, man. But I drop some gems as we go out through this show here, man. So welcome everybody. Thanks for taking a ride with us on episode 28, man. We're gonna talk a little politics and kind of say some other things, man. You know what I'm saying?
Let's do it, man.
Mm-hmm. So last week we kind of alluded to something interesting on the internet as I gaze and I wander through the internet from time to time. I think I spent too much time on the internet, man. But it was a nice piece. It was about company secrets, right? Company secrets from people who actually worked at these companies, man. It was a shit ton of things that people posted about their former employer, and these were all true. There was things posted and say, listen, uh, this this was some things I witnessed as I worked for this company, man. It was like a whole crazy list of them, man. And it's Podcases style, man. We're gonna share a couple of those with you guys. You know what I'm saying? So welcome everybody, episode 28, man. So we gonna you don't want to share a couple of these things, man, with the people. Some company secrets that people used to work they share with us, man. But the one that caught my attention, and I think these guys are in trouble about that, was Bank of America, where they said this loan officer that used to work for Bank of America, he said, "Yo, they intentionally let your accounts go into over, to the negative to get those fees from you." You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, shit, man. And somebody else, a few other people chimed in and say, people like Wachovia and all those people did the same damn thing to allow your account to go into the damn negative, so they can get them extra fees from you, man. So they made like $30 million just in fees alone every year.
You remember we talked about that?
Yeah, man.
Early on, man. The banking fees and the overdraft fees and the billions of dollars they made versus the little donation that they might make towards something else that they put in bright headlights.
Hell yeah, man. And like I said, it was a few of these lists here, man. But I got to say something, man. Here's a few of them. I got to say, go down and run on a few of these items here that I saw. Chick-fil-A. There's somebody who worked at Chick-fil-A. They said that the Chick-fil-A lemonade is made up of 30% of sink water, 50% sugar, and 20% lemon juice.
Oh, wow.
That's some outstanding lemonade. I gotta admit, you know what I'm saying? Whatever the fuck they use, but they say they use sink water to make your lemonade at Chick-fil-A, man. So
when last time you drunk some sink water that you knew about? But you just went to the sink and cut the sink on and grabbed a cup of water or something.
Dude, I don't think I've done that since I've been an adult, bro. I don't know. I don't think I have.
You ain't drunk out of water fountain or nothing since you've been an adult?
I don't drink water. I'm a germaphobe, bro. I'm a huge germ. I don't like germs. I'm very, I don't like germs, man. And think about it. I don't use condoms either, so who knows? It's kind of weird. But I'm just joking. But yeah, it said the guy said he worked at AMC, and he said the people that in the theaters that make your food are the same people that clean the bathrooms, and typically none of them wash their hands.
I'm not shocked by that.
I'm not shocked by that either, man. Because like when I used to work at a local place, man, not even a food place, just a regular. When I was in the workforce, I had a lot of coworkers that would go to the restroom and drop the kids off the pool. In other words, they took a shit and would walk right out the bathroom, bro. Not even touch their hands, any kind of water.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
That's
and then
that's a different level of nasty.
That's some yeah, that's some nasty shit, man. So I'm like, yo, that to me, that is absolutely crazy. They said the Chili's at Wendy's is also made out of the old patties from the previous day, typically. So you like Wendy's Chili's, right?
I have eaten it before.
When last time you
Yes.
ate Wendy's? When the last time you ate Wendy's chili?
Uh,
Recently, because that smile on your face lets me know your ass ate some Wendy's chili recently, bro.
no, it's been a couple of years, man. But
Yo,
I mean, I don't have nothing against Wendy's chili. Who nuggets are good, but I don't want to know what's in it.
you eat nuggets?
You know, am I gonna be judged?
Yeah. I'm about to blow. Yo, a grown man should not. Two things a grown man should not be eating: Tootsie Rolls. Three things: Tootsie Rolls, lollipops, and nuggets. You should not. If you're over 21, you should not be eating no damn nuggets, man.
Can you eat tenders? You can eat tenders, but not nuggets.
You can partake in some tenders, but yo, fuck them nuggets, man. You know what I'm saying? They
Nayoka
also
says she worked at Wendy's one summer, and that is true. She says it is day old burgers.
yeah. And here's what they also said. They said this IT guy said from healthcare. He said he gets an alert anytime adult sites, job sites, or whatever. He said LinkedIn, Indeed, or ZipRecruiter. He said if you get too many of those flags, the ability to get those internet is off limits. They don't want you looking at job sites and anything like that. And this guy
You gotta
said,
do it from your phone. You gotta do it from your phone. You shouldn't even be doing that from your desktop anyway if you work for somebody.
"Oh, that's what you tell. That's what you tell your interns and all that. They can't search for other legal jobs and shit."
Man, they so them young kids so far ahead of me, man. I don't know what they're doing.
Oh, because the teacher you said young kids are a beast, bro. And let me tell you something. If you have a company out here, if you're an entrepreneur, take it from me. Hire young people because they are outstanding. Number one, with everything from social media to whatever, they are an asset to have. Even in and don't talk all this shit about patient and all that. These young kids are outstanding to have on your staff. Trust me. Hire these young people. They know what the fuck they're doing. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So this guy said, he said, he worked at this pharmaceutical company. He said the drugs for cancer, he found that some are replaced with placebo and causes some in some packs. So they're not really cancer fighting drugs. Some are just placebo type shit, and they're not really there to fight. I always thought the fight. No, I'm not shitting nobody. I always thought that like how they just took care of this COVID vaccine within a year. I mean, if you really wanted to do vaccinations and get shit out of the way, man, you would do it. Cancer just cancer fight and all that is too much. It's too much big of a business to eradicate that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think it's a deeper discussion, man. We might get into later on this season.
Oh yeah, no problem.
Even like pharmaceuticals all together, man, because you think about medicines that people need, whether it's high blood pressure medicine or medicines for plethora of diseases, multiple sclerosis, stuff like that. Man, some of those medicines, man, depending on like your insurance, are just totally unaffordable, man. Diabetes,
yeah,
you can't afford this stuff, man. I mean, it's like a mortgage. You know what I'm saying?
It's quite.
It's crazy how one person can pay $3 for the medicine and one person is $3,000 for the medicine, right?
The insurance is a beast, bro. You got a lot of times when people looking for jobs, always looking for that health care. That's a big proponent to getting jobs. So what we're doing right now, we kind of doing a quick rehash. You know what I'm saying? A company secrets. People that used to work for these companies are telling, kind of alluding to some of the secrets that they witnessed working at these companies. So this guy, do you drink Grey Goose vodka? Grey Goose vodka?
I don't drink. I will, but it's not like one of my favorites. No.
You know that they say that the Costco vodka and Grey Goose vodka are the same.
Oh wow!
The
Costco had a vodka.
I didn't know that either. So this guy said he's like, they get the same product he worked at a distillery. And he says it's the same product. He said save your money, just get the Costco brand. So all you alcoholics out there, that's one to grow on, man. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. So it was a few of them, man. We go over some more later on, man. But saying thank you for everybody who's joining us here on episode 28, man. As we grind through season 3, last few shows we had, man. Thanks for the feedback on those shows and everybody who checked those out on YouTube or even watched them live, man. Those were some big ass shows, bro.
Yeah, man. Our YouTube numbers, man, are out of this world, man. I mean,
Can you believe it, bro?
it's really humbling, man, to see that a few thousand people are watching your show, or even and shout out to Sean for the clips that he makes of the shows that have thousands of people looking and commenting and telling us that we crazy and other dispersion things, as well as the good feedback we get from our shows are that's awesome, man. And like I
It
said again,
is.
shout out to Sean doing. He does all the anytime I see somebody, man, and we talk about the podcast, they always like, man, y'all graphics and all of that stuff be off the hook. That's all him. None
Hey,
of that's me.
people say something about our graphics, man. They say it's nice, man.
Oh man, all the time, bro.
Hey, man, we got a graphics guy. You know what I'm saying? Salute the not well, we call him Jay, but his name is Jose. Jose does all our graphics and everything like that for the podcasts, man. He is he's an asset. So him and I get into arguments quite often. He's threatened to quit. So so we don't want to lose Jose that do all our graphics. Whatever we call him Jay around the place, but Jay does all our graphics and everything for the podcasts, man. So salute to Jay and everybody who rocks with the cases on a week to week basis, man. It's been an outstanding season 3, man, and we decided that we want to come in and switch things up and everything like that, man. And so salute to Cy. Cy put all our shows together and things like that. So every week that we do whatever we do, Cy puts all this together, man. So I'm just we just we're like the Heart Foundation, man. We're a tag team, bro. You know what I'm saying? Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard, man. We're a tag team, man. The world champs, baby. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely, man. Definitely,
Mhm.
man. You know,
So
it's one thing I saw this week, man, and it was talking about jobs that people have, that people who don't work the jobs don't realize how hard it is. And I think it's like podcasting, even on the level that we do it, it's one of those jobs. You work it more than me, but it's definitely one of those jobs. When you're putting stuff together and you're trying to figure out, well, this is what I want to do, and
mhm.
is this gonna work? And then you got when you have to, deal with guests and other stuff and technical difficulties and being on one page, man. This it's a little more work than you would think. You know what I mean?
It is a lot of work, man, but enjoy doing it, bro. And
Oh yeah,
it's fun as hell. And we try to bring interesting topics to everybody and things that we feel that will be interesting to people, man. And we dealt with the entertainment field in the last couple of shows, man, for season 3. And again, thanks for everybody who's been watching episode 28, the podcasts, man. As we said at the top of the show, this show is dedicated to Miss Anita Baker. This is her birthday week, so we just want to say happy to Miss Anita Baker. So anybody who's joining us now knows that the show is dedicated to her and her birthday week. And we love Anita. So happy birthday, sweetheart. We'll be seeing you soon on the cases. You know what I'm saying? So salute to you know what I'm saying? So again, this is episode 28. This is the politics, man. We're gonna talk a little politics, man. We get into it from time to time, and although our views are pretty much the same thing, that's out for Fauci and all that. We tend to like to have guests on and give us some more detailed look to the realm of politics, man, and how it affects us on a day to day level. You know what I'm saying?
right, for
You
sure.
know. So and like I said, it's important for us to bring that on and everything like that. So anybody who's watching right now, if you're a voter or whatever, just put down the V. If you're not, just put down an N or whatever in the comments section. But a lot of people are leery of voting now because they're saying that a lot of the things that's on the ticket are not privy to what they stand for or whatever. But I remember Malcolm X back in the day. He had the ballot of the bullet. If something is not being represented to you on on your ballot, you just don't. You sit on your vote, whatever. So it's a lot of times that people determine which is more effective. You vote or you don't vote. You sit on your vote and whatever. And are we genetically predisposed as black people being as Democrats? You know what I'm saying? And white people being Republicans. There's a lot of things going on with the political realm that I like to get involved with and test and see how things are going. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, and then for people who, if you haven't just listened to the Ballad of the Bullet,
Hmm.
great Malcolm X speech, man. I think
Yes.
time is done. What is it, about 28 minutes or so? It's not that
Yes.
long.
It's great.
But I mean, pull it up on YouTube, man. Take a listen. Like Sean said, man, we get into a lot of political stuff, and I like to think I'm a pretty intelligent guy. I can read and understand stuff. I know Sean is pretty intelligent. He can read and understand, but at times, even the most intelligent person knows to seek wise counsel on some stuff, right? So
Say no more.
I mean, there's some people, friends that I follow, and I know, like, they know, like, hey, when it come to federal criminal stuff,
Hmm.
that's what Chris does.
Right.
So, I got some friends, and politics is what they do, and they're serious about it, and they live by it, and that's what it's about. And that's what we wanted to bring to our audience is some is the ability to be educated, not to have a debate or talk about this, but the ability to be simply educated on politics.
Absolutely, man. And what better way to kind of talk about politics than the individuals that kind of deal with it on a day-to-day basis, or just more entrenched into the realm than you and I may be. We're sometimes we're considered. I like to consider myself a layman in terms of politics or whatever, but nonetheless, I'm astute in certain aspects of it, man. So we got a couple of special guests on to talk politics with us. Maybe from different points of views or whatever, but nonetheless, they're wise in their ability to discuss the issues, man. We got John the hetero. I hope I pronounced his name. He probably gonna kill me.
Verdejo.
Verdejo,
Verdejo.
John Verdejo, Michael Verdejo, John Verdejo, and we have Michael Hines on. Is going to join us with the podcasts, man. So, hey, gentlemen, welcome to the podcasts. You know what I'm saying?
Welcome. Glad to be here.
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey,
What's up?
how's it
Hey,
going?
John, how you doing? Hey, Mike, how you doing? Welcome to the
How you guys
podcasts,
doing
man.
tonight?
Go first. Go ahead.
Good.
Hey,
Can't complain, man. Can't complain.
What's
Well,
up, Mike?
let me before we start, let me just say, John is a friend of mine. We played some high school football together back when we were a little more spring. He's an original New Yorker. He's a Puerto Rican brother. I'm sure he's a New Yorker. He's a Puerto Rican brother. I know he loves the Yankees. But he ended up some kind of way. He ended up in Greensboro, North Carolina, on the football field with me. He ran those hills with me. We had a good time, and like I said earlier, man, I know we don't get to talk often. We do run into each other every so often, and the thing about John that I respect so much is he's into politics. He knows his stuff, but he is also very approachable, very humble, very much Sean like you and I. Where you might see John vibing out to I think the last time I saw him, it was like a Jay-Z Biggie listening party downtown Raleigh in about 2017. So
might have been some savage stuff, yo. I don't know.
Right. So
you're talking back in the Wilding era. You know what I mean?
Right.
Well, yeah.
So,
well, John, welcome, man. Welcome to the podcasts, man. Like I said, he's a DNC member. So, welcome to the podcasts. And we also have Mr. Michael Hines. Welcome, Michael. Thanks for joining the podcast, man.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying?
No,
We're going to talk a little. Yeah, absolutely, bro. Thank you. We're going to talk a little politics, man, and just kind of like share from everybody's point of view and kind of what's going on with the most recent things in the political realm, and have a little roundtable discussion about it and how it's affecting everything. So, John, tell us a little bit about yourself and your political affiliation, if you mind.
Yeah, well, aside from the Wilding era that I used to share with Chris over there, I got involved in politics in 2008. Well, might as well say 2008. Yeah, with that was the year where we elected our first Black president, Barack Obama.
Yes, Lord.
Yeah, I originally is a sign. I was originally for John Edwards. All right, so that was my introduction to politics, and it wasn't until he dropped out was when I started taking a hard look at Obama, and just took off from there. I was fortunate to be elected as delegate to that convention in 2008, and just took off there. Currently, I'm a member of the Democratic National Committee. I'm also a member of the Resolution Committee at the Democratic National Committee.
Okay.
I've helped several campaigns that, advise, I sit on a couple of the boards, yada, yada, yada. Beyond that, just don't take the title and don't take the title to fool you. I mean, I get it. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's not something I do every day. This is something I do every day, but I get it. I get the frustrations and the things people feel. So from that angle, that's how I approach it, and how I go about my business.
Hey, man, thank you for joining us, man. And we also have Mr. Michael Hines on with the Podcases. Michael, just tell us a little bit about yourself and your political affiliation, and
Yeah, I don't have any wilding out days, although I'm sure I did in college. But no, I'm an RNC member here out of Charlotte, North Carolina. And my political journey actually started very similar. So although I was actually for Barack Obama in 2008, that was my first year even ever voting or eligible to vote. And so, yeah, I mean, I grew up in a Republican household. So, mom, dad, the whole family, the whole 9 yards. So that's kind of, it's definitely generational, if you want to say. And of course, you do your research, and then when Obama was running, I thought definitely a needed change and something that was very interesting to me. And so, yeah, I ended up voting for him. And then about 2012, I was in the military. I was a Marine. And so while I was serving, I kind of got to, see firsthand what it's like to be in the military world. And of course, I don't know if you know, but a lot of military members are obviously Republican or, non-affiliated as well. And I ended up switching and kind of just going along with that party only because it resonated a lot with me. Some of the politics, some of the different things you just see while you're there, and the people you're around, of course. And then here I am today. So now I go to the convention pretty much every year it's happened.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's and do your support as best you can, of course. But obviously we're all busy. But yeah, and then also there's a UNC Charlotte here has a Republican National Committee club here, and so I joined that for a little while, and here I am.
Hey, Michael, thank you for joining us, man. We sincerely appreciate it. You and I spoke sometime almost last year, trying to get you to come on and do some things with us, man. But thank you for your time. I know you're a busy man, just like you and John. Thank you guys both for joining us. So so let's just kind of have a little discussion about the state of politics and how we see it. You know what I'm saying? So my first question. So Michael, since you guys are currently out of office, so to speak, and we the Democrats control Congress or whatever, or just have a 51-50 split, whatever it is. How do you feel about the first year or two of Joe Biden's administration?
That's a good. I think it went better than expected. Right. I would say.
Okay.
To be fair with you, I actually think he did much better in the beginning than as he has come out. And that a lot of that had to do with undoing Trump policies or things of that nature and kind of just playing like catch up, if you will. So there wasn't a whole lot to kind of, there isn't, he didn't come in and just start changing everything. He just said, okay, we're going to try to backtrack, I think. And at first it wasn't as bad. I personally thought it was just fine. Even though, like I said, I'm an RNC member, I'm not going to be a sore loser. I'm like, all right, let's see what the next guy can do. Which is, most Republicans don't do that, or at least people assume that. But no, of course, we're also, some of us are, a lot of the competitors come in. And I thought it was okay. Nothing too crazy. But then I think midway, some things started to change for me personally. Because if I'm being fair with, I don't know about you guys, but aside from people who aren't in politics, at least a lot of my friends, presidential, aside from like executive orders and a few other things here and there, a lot of them don't affect our day-to-day as much as we assume they will.
Right. Okay.
Now, not that they don't, because they absolutely do, but they don't have as great of an impact as we would want them to have or assume them to have. And so some of those things, like for instance, I think most recently, the troops pulling out of Afghanistan and things like that, and Iraq, that's, those are big issues for, veterans like myself, who went over there and have seen different things and done those things just to see it kind of like all that hard work go to waste. But that's not to say there's one person to blame for that either.
Right.
And so I definitely kind of seen the back end of that. And, you're in those communities, you're in those Facebook groups, your friends talk about it all the time. And you kind of just see the hurt, the pain that happens. And, that's tough to navigate and tough to listen to.
Absolutely.
So and I think that's just how it's been, for at least personally, my reflection on it is beginning, okay, nothing too crazy. And as we progress, definitely changed a lot.
No doubt. Hey, so Mike, appreciate you coming on. We, like I said, we just wanted to have just around 10 different political points of views, man. And like I said, we also have John here. He's a DNC member. John, same question to you. Tell us, how you feeling about briefly about the current administration within the first year or two of taking office.
Yeah, I believe, like Michael here. Thanks. Thank you for saying those things. I believe he has done pretty well. I mean, he came in during the height of COVID when all of us didn't even know. We were afraid to even touch, doorknobs, thinking we're gonna catch COVID.
Right.
And he came in during those times, and in that time, he was able, in a bipartisan way, to pass, COVID relief, child credits, child credits, small business grants to at least give folks some type of relief, some type of relief from everything that was going on. So that kind of put him in a good spot, in good graces with folks on both sides of the aisles, I believe. And then from there, he went on to tackle the Build Back Better Act, which currently languishes in the Senate right now. From there, he has pivoted over to the Voting Rights Act, where also it languishes in the Senate. So right now, as in the first year, I think he's done pretty well. But as we get closer to the midterms, I have to admit, just like many other Democrats in my position and others, are scared in that. Not so much the Republicans, because I understand politics such that they have to play their game. All right, they have to play their game to make sure, to ensure that their side prevails. I get it. That's the way it works. But I believe there are those of us in our own party who is causing harm to some of the things that the president tends to do. So as the midterms draw closer, as things tends to slow down, and this pandemic is still above us, inflation, so on and so on, you insert the things here. We're going to get some headwinds. We're going to get some headwinds. So,
okay,
Definitely.
Oh no, I think about that. If you don't mind me asking, how do you feel about, like, you just said, things like inflation. I mean, most presidents, as soon as they get towards like the end of their midterms, they have to face basically question what you just asked: how did the presidential, how was their first basically year or two gone? And they face a lot of criticism for that. And I think personally, I think Biden will face a lot of that, and things like inflation and giving back in different ways. The Voting Act, that's a big deal right now as well. And so I think that some of that is rather, it's not so cut and dry, like, oh my God, he did a great job, oh, he did a bad job. I think it has to do with, like, okay, how did it affect each individual one of you guys? Like, for instance, the Voting Act, for me, I never understood personally. That's because I've never had an opportunity to have an issue with ever voting.
Right.
But
Same
I finally
with me.
did meet somebody. Right. I did meet someone who had an issue. It was a homeless guy I met a while back. But it was, issues to, like, getting an ID card, things like that. But that, that faced him in a way that would have faced any American at that point in his life. He just had issues, getting there and things like transportation, things like that, and getting documents, stuff like that. But, like I said, things like that for me aren't top issues, just because, again, like you said, I've never had an issue getting an ID card. I've never had an issue trying to go vote if I really wanted to. And I think that's something that definitely, as we get towards midterms, people are going to wonder, okay, what did and how did his policies affect me more or less? And I think you'll find, or at least, many of the people I hang out with are kind of like, hey, we're at a loss of exactly what has he done helpful that has made the average everyday American able to basically, go about their day or help out with, like you said, giving out child tax credits, things like that. For me, those aren't top issues. For, like, the pandemic, for instance, I worked throughout the whole pandemic. I didn't have to quarantine. I have never gotten COVID. I did get my COVID shot, but that wasn't until November of last year, I think. Not to say I'm like not careful, of course. I have a son, so I got to be smart about that. But I just, like I said, some of those for me weren't the top issues that I was more concerned about weren't tackled during his presidency. At least I felt, compared to a previous administration where, as hot-headed as he can be, there were issues that were concerning to him that he would address. Now, whether he did a great policy or not, obviously there's both sides of this. Even though we're split now, even then there was a 51-48 split in the Senate. So again, even though Republicans controlled the Senate, it was still a large divide. And so even during his presidency, there was hard bills and laws to get passed during that time as well. I think just now it's kind of like assessing whether Biden's presidency versus Trump's presidency, what really made the average day better or worse for each of us.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, I think what's going on is this. I think initially during the newlywed period, when Biden just got into office, again, he was able to pass all types of COVID relief packages, in an initial 100 days. I mean, every president who comes into the White House, even going back to Trump, right? They all gave him a little bit of rope, a whole little bit of grace. See, all right, we're going to fill you out, see what's going on. And I think he definitely took advantage of that and was able to pass a couple of things that affected, regular folks. I mean, I'm glad you mentioned your son, Michael. I mean, I'm a son of two boys, 7 and 5. And I can tell you that, those credits really, really helped because, I remember I used some of that money to help, towards their school stuff, you know what I mean? Even though they were at home, but, little stuff here and there. So, and I believe there's probably millions of other stories, the same thing. But I think what's going on is this. He was able to pass that, right? So people had this sort of expectation that, oh man, everything's gonna go good. And then you start talking about the Build Back Better. And I'm sorry. By the way, he was able to pass infrastructure, which that was another good news. Oh man, we're on the road. Yeah, we're going to this stuff passed. But then we hit a roadblock. We hit a wall. And ever since we hit that wall, I think folks were expecting good news every week. And unfortunately, that's not how Washington politics works, especially in the type of world that we live in, where Republicans are going to fight for their thing. We're going to fight for ours, and the newlywed period is up. And any of us that been in marriage, we know how that works.
Yeah, man, I totally agree with you on that, man. I just one of the things that kind of stick out to me, I'm like I said, I'm a layman political kind of watcher, so to speak, right? But one of the things that stick out to me, and I see a lot of this on social media, people kind of like commenting about the loans, the student loans that Biden's have really not touched as of yet. That's one of the biggest things he kind of like ran on, from like a layman's point of view. I saw a list of things he has accomplished, but just like how Michael alluded to, a lot of those things don't touch the average American person. But when he was running, he was speaking on, he had a campaign on speaking on things that touch the average American voter. And I'm a small business owner and things of that nature. I'm a parent, but when COVID hit, you got to be damn near poor to get any of those loans. I mean, not loans, but any of that stuff that kicked back, like the $1,400 and all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
You damn near got to be poor to get that already. Individuals like who's business owners, whatever, they don't get that for like, well, you made too much or whatever. That's some bullshit. But that just me. But again, I just I have a lot of things to say about the current administration as well as the last administration. And one of the things that we see going on right now is the January 6th committee they got going on right now. And Michael, you're a Republican or whatever. How'd you feel about that whole deal? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's like the best question ever. I love answering this one. So yeah, I mean, I don't like to scapegoat around. I'm not gonna say, oh my God, that's only a few select Republicans. No, I mean, even some of my friends, went out and supported. I don't know if they were like in the Capitol or not, but definitely. And you see in the news, plenty of them were veterans and things like that. And that's just because, again, that community, or our community, was very, very upset at the way things were going.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I get frustration, and I get that, and I understand, some people's needs to act that out in some way. Storming the Capitol, I think, was very, definitely very un-American. Or to be really fair, the most American thing you could really do, because that's what we're known for, being things like that. But at the same time, I personally, I mean, people died and things of that nature, so that's, absolutely a sad event, and, heartbreaking to have to go through. You don't expect to have to work at the Capitol and have to go through something like that. But at the same time, I think it highlights just how upset people were. And more so, I think especially politicians and more senators and things like that are very, not comfortable is the word I'm looking for, but very, very relaxed, if you will, in not understanding how things impact the average American and how they matter to them. Especially, we didn't have a whole lot until then. And I think during that whole election period, people were really scared. Just like you said, earlier, people were scared. Now they're also scared. Then they're afraid of what might happen, and because of that fear, it caused them to do certain things that they may or never have done. But it's a good wake up call, in my opinion, for the senators to recognize that, because I don't think that was there before. I don't think they realized how important we treat the election of our American president. I think it's very. It's been very downplayed until now, and a great example of that is this year, or during Biden's election. That's the most African Americans we've ever even had vote. Period.
Before even more than Barack Obama.
Yeah,
even more than Barack Obama. Yeah,
Damn.
And that's great.
That's
I
right.
mean, and I'm all
Right.
for that.
That upset.
And because and that just shows you that people were really interested, and that people really got pushed to go and vote, go and put your opinion. And just like you said, they were expecting a certain outcome with the Biden administration, and I think a lot of those promises are not being tackled. Student loans, things of that nature. They're saying that it comes up every 2 months or 3 months or something, but nothing's really done to forward that or go towards that direction. And I think if you'd really stuck to those, really pushed for those, that might have seen something different. Even the Corona Relief Act stuff, I think that would have personally been done in any administration. I don't know if it would have gone to the extent he did, but those tax credits, things like that. I mean, I don't even think I used mine for that. I think I just put it away in a savings or something. And not to say I'm like ridiculously rich or anything like that. It's just, for me, that's not what I needed at the time. $500 or whatever, $600 wasn't what I needed at the time. I was doing just fine on my own. I can work, and of course, more money is definitely appreciated, but that's not the issue that I needed handled at the moment. And then, especially with the Corona now, I mean, it's still going on. We're in Omicron variant or whatever variant we're in at this point. It's still a thing. People are still getting Corona, and no one can expect what a virus will do. So I can't speak to that. But I think all this attention on the coronavirus and things like that I think it's important to highlight health issues and public health issues, but I think it's also more important to allow people to make those decisions, especially business owners. Some business owners weren't allowed to open or shut, the restaurants were shut down, and we have plenty of senators who are out eating and doing things supposed to be representing this administration's push, and then doing things like that. And again, you can't control every senator, every person's actions. But I think what's important to show is that there are so many events and so many instances where coronavirus things didn't impact the politician, but impacted the average person not
That's
being
true,
able to
bro.
find businesses now are having such a trouble just getting people in the door. And I don't think that's due because they're getting this relief money and they don't feel like they have to work. I definitely don't think that's it. But because of the businesses shutting down, people realize, hey, maybe I don't have to work that $15 job an hour or $10 an hour job. I'd rather just stay on government money or do something like that because it's much more difficult to try to sit through an interview, hopefully or not get the part or whatever,
Right.
just to go against 30 other candidates who are exactly the same.
Okay.
Well, let me jump in.
Yeah.
First, shout out to both of you guys for coming on our platform and discussing your your opinions, on and your experience in politics. It's one of those things, man. I call kind of like a barbershop conversation. You got so many
For sure.
people who just, you could say the sun is yellow and people know it's red. No, it's blue, whatever, just to go against you. So first of all, just for you guys, loving it enough or being passionate enough about it to come on and discuss it, we really appreciate that. That's the first thing. So me, during the day I'm a lawyer, but I am a super layman in politics, because for a long time, even though I voted for a long time, I always felt that voting, like a lot of people in my age bracket, and I'm assuming you guys are around my age. If you're not, I'm act like you are. So a lot of people in our age just felt like, man, it doesn't matter, right? But as I got older and I started to read just enough to understand some. So when you see stuff like President Biden running on, hey, I'm eliminate like student loans. Like in my head, I'm thinking, you can't do that. Like, so why would you even say that? And then for people who are thinking that you can do it, then those are more ignorant voters, for lack of a better word, right? Because you probably can't do that. But I think at the same time, when you get into these situations, right, and you have like the COVID relief stuff, a lot of people are that may not have voted or weren't voting that got that relief. Now you've got a Democrat for life because they got that money, right? They got that money and it helped out and they needed that money. Man, I can tell you that I got that $289 check from George Bush in 2001 and I never forgot it. Right? I never forgot getting that check from Bush. You either got 289 or 310. I think I got 289, but I was like,
never
wow.
got any of that money, bro. But anyway,
you got that.
I didn't get it.
So, but
You're still waiting on the check.
I'm waiting on that damn check.
Well,
so, but then I look like, so for me, I own a small law firm, right? Sure. So the American Cares Act, it didn't really help me a lot, right? It said either I got to go out and I got to buy this insurance or either I'm going to get penalized by it, right? But you have to look, and I'm getting to my point. You have to look at the fact that we're all Americans at some point, right? And so, you have to, whatever the boss, who is the president, says, you got to go by it. If Congress and it passes through Congress and the House, we got to go by it. But here's the issue I have. The issue with January 6th is for the first time in my lifetime, we let the rest of the world know, like, it's some people that really are not happy. Now I'm fine. Like, I can talk politics all day, but you're not going to come over from Russia and talk about my president. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's whatever it is. We're going to protect our house, right? So I felt like for the first time, it was like the first time ever, well, at least in my lifetime, and I'm in my early 40s, that we basically showed the rest of the world, because it was broadcasted so quickly everywhere. And I was actually on the way to DC. My office is in DC. I was on the way to DC that morning, and when I got a call from my office, like, hey, don't think about coming downtown, right? Don't think about coming downtown DC. So it was like the first time, and that's what bothered me the most about, and I understand passion and all of this, but it just looked horrible. And it's just like having a family. Look, what we do in this house, we keep in this house.
Keep in the house. No, I agree with that 100%. Definitely, it was not a good look for us in overall. And even though we have disagreements here, for sure, having that, kind of hang over us was definitely something that ultimately didn't help anybody. Whether you're Democratic or Republican, it just wasn't good for any party.
And the thing about that, I have to say it is, and Mike, I appreciate you so much because take it on my political hat for a moment. You are a breath of fresh air, brother. You know what I mean?
No.
You are definitely a breath of fresh air. And with that, I say this: I wish there were more people on your side that would say the same things that you're saying right now, because this country would be in such a better place. Again, I understand the game, and you guys have to play your side, and we have to play ours. That's just the way it works, right? But on these certain things that are so, heinous, that soar against everything that we stand for. January 6th, for example, we need more folks like you to say those things that you're saying. And I too have Republican friends, and when I'm talking to them on the phone, offline, yeah, John, what happened January 6th was messed up. But when it's time to really say it, when it's really time to get together, everyone is quiet. And I think that therein lies sort of the problem. Gotta say, before I lose my thought, everyone kept talking about student loans. While everybody was talking, I researched this because I think I remember something. Student loans is actually on pause until May the 1st, 2022.
They are, yep. Not all of them, but some of them. Luckily, I personally deal with this, and okay. Yeah, one of my student loans has been pushed back, which has been great. My graduate school loan, thank God.
Wow.
The biggest one. And yeah, they have been pushed back till May 1st. But even when I was dealing with, basically I got a phone call being like, you're one of the lucky few. Because I'm like, wait a minute, what do you mean lucky few? There are many loans that weren't pushed back from many students. I had a buddy of mine who was in grad school with me. He had to take a Sallie Mae loan, unfortunately, which is a private company. Mm-hmm. And his loans are not on pause. So he will currently have to pay through them. Yeah. Luckily, he has a decent job, but.
Yeah. Well, here's one thing I always kind of pondered, man, and thought about this. I think, and I kind of alluded to when I was introducing both of you, John and Michael, is like, and this is more for John, but Mike had a good point when he was kind of talking about his background. But I think a lot of times the Democratic Party, quote unquote, take advantage of the black vote. They assume it's going to be there. Always going to assume it's going to be there. So I don't, and like I said, I'm not as politically astute as some as both Michael and John here. I don't see anything specifically for black people in the past of my years. I've seen a lot of acts been for like Asian Americans or whatever, gays, whatever. But I haven't seen anything that specifically targets black people to enhance their lives or whatever. And John, and why do you think that is? You're a DNC member. Why do you think we feel that way? Not saying that you have the elixir to answer that question, but just idea. Why do you think a lot of us feel that way? Like our votes are being taken advantage of, and nothing's really been pinpointed to enhance our lives.
Yeah, I might ask for my resignation after I answer this question, but turn in my paperwork. But no, that's very valid. That's very valid. As a Puerto Rican Black Latino, I often have these arguments with some members of my party and the higher ups. Why is it that we feel that we feel the way we feel, that the only time, there's a saying, because I've done this a long time where I registered folks, help campaigns and stuff like that. And I see it, man, like clockwork, right? The last 2 or 3 months of an election is when you see electeds in black community. At
the black church.
You got it. That's all of a sudden you see them at the tournaments, you see them at the fish fries, you see them at the churches saying hallelujah, whatever the case may be. But after the election, gone. All right, peace. But I think, thing about that is this, man. I think us as a people, we're very pragmatic folk. We're very pragmatic. Where, I guess I'm talking a little personal here, but right now I'm with the Democratic Party because that's the part that best aligns with the things that I'm trying to go for. All right. Right now, that's it. We only have a 2-party system, and right now the Democratic Party is it. And I think a whole lot of folks are in the same boat. However, I think what it is that aside from us who are really plugged into politics, the average Joe Schmo don't get it. All right. They're going to work every day. They trying to pay their mortgage, trying to pay their rent, car notes, stuff like that, and coming up short. And it's like, damn, we have a Democratic president in office. He promised X, Y, Z. Why can I not pay my car note? Not realizing that there are factors in place, such as, the roles the Republicans are playing, and I'm gonna put some of us in there too. Democrats in there, to Manchin and Sinema out of Arizona. They're basically roadblocking everything that we're trying to do. And also, here's something else I like to throw out there. Consultants and those whose job is it to get folks elected. Michael, I know you're in this game, so you know exactly what I'm talking about.
For
you
sure.
got consultants and and posters who will tell electeds one thing. Hey, you should do this, you should do that, da 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 da.
Sure.
Black folks, Latinos, they're always gonna roll with you. All right, just make sure you
definitely still a game. Absolutely.
Yeah. Make sure you throw little crumbs here and there. Don't worry about it. They're always gonna be with you. Next go around, and that's what tends to happen. So. It's definitely a topic on my side, and believe me, it's not something that's spoken on a lot because most probably are afraid to speak as honestly as me, maybe. But
right,
it's definitely a topic that's brought out a lot. Believe me.
Agreed. I really think that's something that should be looked at more, because I wish I could say it was only a Democratic problem, but that's not true at all. There's definitely issues on the Republican side as well of tackling those kind of things. You promise one thing to a large community, and then they actually, and when you promise those large things, that entire community might show up to vote now. And so that would have changed an entire election. A lot of people assume that, oh, you're Republican, you must not have believed in the vote or things like that. And that's not true. I completely believe that more African Americans voted this year. Absolutely 100%. But that's because they were promised certain things. Right. And they only voted because it was such a drive to say, hey, we don't like this president currently. He's such a bad guy. We need to get him out of there. I promise you, we'll change everything for you if you go and vote for him. And then a whole swath of people all of a sudden that never voted before decided to vote because it was so politically charged, because he was such a diverse opponent, things like that. It's just like, wow, we need to get this guy. I think part of my issue and the reason I can't align with a lot of the Democratic things is they tend to vilify things a lot often. And not to say that we don't do that either, but I think more so, especially with this last president, he's been so vilified on the things he's done. Whereas there are many things he did great as well. And, every president has bad and good, whether, they're Democratic or Republican. I loved a lot of Obama's things. I also hated a lot of his things. It's kind of those things that you reflect on and go, okay, well, why are we, instead of vilifying them, why not we just, tackle saying, okay, well, this issue didn't work. This issue did. And again, same issue, two-party system doesn't really allow for that. And I get that there has to be a game that's played. But that should reflect more on us. We should, as voters, we should be more conscious of that.
Great point.
I know,
something else I want to. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, John. Go ahead, John.
No. Just before I lose my thoughts, something you mentioned, Chris, that kind of reminded me of something early on when I started politics. The success of Jesse Helms, believe it or not, Jesse Helms. A whole lot of us hated him. Folks of color hated him because he called us every type of N-word or whatever. But the genius of Jesse Helms was this, and I've heard this from a couple of old folks down east. He called me every type of N-word. But anytime I had a problem with the VA administration or with the Social Security administration, or when my grandmother needed a pothole fixed in front of her yard, in front of her road rather, next week he had it done. And that's why he was able to stay in office for so many years. And it's those type of politicians that at the end of the day, as long as you stay local, as long as you pay attention to those little things that affect ordinary folks, you will stay in office.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Well, okay. So I know we kind of running short on time. I got one question each for each of you, right? I'm gonna start with you, Michael. Now this question might be controversial. This could go viral. This could go viral. No, I'm joking. And so my question for you is, do you think Donald Trump will run for president again? And the second part of that question is,
or should he?
How do you? Yeah, Willie and should he? And how do you think that I'm not going to ask you about your party, but I'm going to ask you people who you hang out with or you align with in your party. How do you guys feel about that?
Sure. Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know if I think he should or will, but I don't know if I can speak on that. But I mean, for sure, I think I definitely don't think he should, if I'm being fair. I do like him, but I think there's just so much politically charged energy there that I don't know what it would do. But bringing that on, I don't think the other Republicans in our party would even, I'm sure they've considered it, but I don't think they would back him 100%, if I'm being honest with you.
Wow.
So I actually don't think he will. Not to say that I wouldn't love to see the show.
It'll be a great show, bro. It'll be a great, outstanding show.
Very interesting show.
Yeah,
very
absolutely.
Show. And again, like I said, I didn't mind his politics. They didn't hurt me in any way. But at the same time, things like the Capitol riots, stuff like that could never happen again. And I think things like that have kind of reflected on his presidency very hard. And I don't think that would be good for our party in general. When there are also, everyone, you can't just put it on Trump. There's so many other great Republicans in our party as well that haven't had a chance to shine. And this would be a great opportunity for them.
All right.
Great answer,
all right.
man.
Now I got one for you too, John. Hey, it's just as salacious. So
I got kids, man.
That was
I got
tough.
kids.
I want to know who. Okay, so my question is Kamala next? If she's not next, who is? I'm sorry. It's Vice President Harris. That's very disrespectful for me to call her by her first name. It's Vice President Harris next.
You saw she tore down Charlamagne the God over that.
I'm sorry about that.
Title first.
It wasn't about that. It was about something else. But go ahead.
Yeah, it was.
You're right.
Yeah, you're right. Shout out to them too. I think the only way she moves is unless, she decides to run for president, is unless Biden decides not to run for re-election.
He said he was.
And he said it was, yeah. So
yeah.
I think for the time being, she's gonna stay put, remain as a vice president.
Dude,
now,
there's no way he can win, bro. There's no way he can win.
No,
there's no way he can win, bro.
She doesn't seem like the type to sit back and let it go, though.
Yeah, he's not gonna win, bro. There's no way Biden can win, bro. It is what it is.
Yeah,
I was seated that he doesn't win.
I don't know, man. That's,
shit, bro. Nah.
I mean, I'm gonna say this. I think Trump is gonna run, and I think he does have wide support. Yeah.
It's a lot of support.
Low key.
Yeah. Yes.
But he's bringing him out. He's bringing out the vote. He's that one guy. He's bringing out the vote that's gonna in turn.
And Trump's not gonna go 0-2. He's not gonna go 0-2 in the general election, bro. He's not gonna go 0-2 because
I think that might be why he might not do it, is because exactly the reason. I don't think he'd want to fear losing at all.
I don't think he would lose, man. I really don't think he'd lose.
I don't know if he would or not, but it's just that'd be so politically charged. That'd be such a very, very. I mean, it'd be an interesting time to see for sure.
But they both too old, in my opinion. Come on, man. Listen.
Right. That's what we're
doing. We'll have an 80-year-old president.
Yeah.
Hey, Trump is a lot more spry than Joe Biden, bro.
This is true.
He's a lot more spry. You can say whatever you want to say about
Biden's facial expressions.
It is what it is, man.
I think he's there.
Under Trump, I learned more about politics than I did under any other president. Whether it was because of just the quote unquote trouble he's been in, or the people trying to get him, or whatever. I learned so much more about politics with him being in office than I ever did, because I was so under the impression like, well, okay, well, Obama's there, everything's gonna be good, so I don't need to pay attention as much, right? And I missed a lot of the great things he did. Some of the things I may have disagreed with, I may have missed as well. But under Trump, I saw the good and the bad, because I was so into it. You know what I'm saying? So
he made it a spectacle for sure.
It was entertainment.
He made it entertainment. I think he's really good about that.
It was more entertaining, that's for sure.
For something, and last question, I want you guys to give me no follow up, just one name, because I would say our last two presidents were dark horses. Barack Obama was a dark horse back in 2000, when he was coming through the loop back in 2004. And then nobody thought President Trump would win. So give me, John, you first, one dark horse from your party.
Pete Buttigieg.
Wow.
Okay. Current Secretary to Department of Transportation, yeah.
Okay. And how about you, Mike?
I'm trying to think. Man. Maybe Michael Core? No, he's kind of local to me, so that doesn't help. I'm not sure. I'll have to think about it. Really, again, this. Okay. If I may speak to Chris, one of the things you said was, you said, I wish more people were like in your party. I promise you, Chris, there are plenty of us. You just
come out, please.
There's plenty of us. There are. Please. You're right. Well, what comes out are the people for the show, So the people that you do see are the people who are for the show. There are plenty of us out there who are not these hard charging, let's go storm the Capitol and do all this. Like, no, we understand the politics of Democrats and ourselves, and we just, again, there's some things we don't agree on or do agree on, and it's really about what issues are more important. It's not about there's some things that we agree on 100%. I guarantee it. It's more of saying what's the priority for us versus what's the priority for you. And I think that's really the heart of the argument, really. But there are plenty of us around that, can see it and have a great conversation and say, okay, yeah, I'd love to hear what you got to say without any animosity, and go have dinner later or whatever. So
that's what's up, man.
We're running out of time, but I just want to say I truly appreciate you guys for being both informative and tasteful. Good sports. I mean, and showing people that, you can have different opinions on stuff and you can still have a conversation.
That's what's up.
That's what we wanted to show. I mean, and both of you guys taught me something.
Absolutely, man.
I truly appreciate it.
Yeah, we want to bring you guys back as we get closer to the elections or whatever, and kind of talk a little more about what's kind of like hot and heavy at that time. But again, Michael, John, thank you guys for both for taking your time out of your Sunday to kind of rap with us and educate us a little more on the political realm. But guys, really appreciate it. You're friends of the show. Anytime you want to come back, I will definitely reach out to you guys, man. So salute to you guys. Thanks. Have a great Sunday, man.
Salute. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you guys. All right.
Thank you guys.
All right. Man, I just I learned something, man. I feel like anytime I talk politics or whatever, and a lot of people don't like to talk politics. I'm like, why you don't like to talk politics? I think it's interesting as hell, man.
Joe can't run again, man. We can't have an 80-year-old president, man. I put my foot down.
He say he's running though, bro. He did say this about a month ago.
You remember that commercial? Nobody wants to talk about this commercial. That commercial that Trump had when Joe Biden was up there. He said, "Sometimes I wake up and I feel like it's 1932."
Hey, Joe look bad, bro. We talked about this. There's a clip that we did.
Joe eyes be like this.
Joe look bad, bro. What is Joe now? What is Joe now?
Let me see, man. Joe is like
Joe late 70s, I know, but
him and Trump both, man.
But Trump is a lot more spry than he is, though. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Trump's a lot more spry than he is, man.
Joe Biden is 79 years old today.
Shit, so he'll be 80 years old at the time of the election in 2024, and that's 2 years
81.
away.
Be about to turn 81.
Yeah. That's horrible, bro. That's fucking horrible, man. I just don't. But thanks to Mike.
Trump is 75, man. We can't. At some point, man, you have to get into a succession plan, and you know what I'm saying, and find somebody, man. But how interesting would that be? And I'm not sure. Pete Buttigieg he's the openly homosexual guy, right?
Yes.
You think America's ready for that?
Shit, yeah, that's all motherfuckers are. Let me tell you something. If your album start to flop, everybody like, well, I'm in gay. Like, oh shit, he's platinum now. Come on, bro. Everybody's, come on, man. Shit, like look at every person's like Instagram. A lot of people, like these young people, they're like, oh, I'm like gay or bisexual or whatever. That's a new thing, man. That's a fad, bro. Like how we used to rock like Jordans every whatever kids say they're bisexual now. That's the thing, man. So yeah, America's ready for that shit, And bro, I don't give a fuck who you sleep with or tongue kiss. I really don't give a fuck. So why people need to make that a big deal or say mention it? That's what makes me uncomfortable. Like, dude, I don't care. So why you need to make that a big issue? I don't care.
I don't think it's people's sexuality that people that bothers people. I think it's their temperament. I think that's why we've had such a problem getting a female president. Because what have they always said is, the comedians have always said the joke, oh, you get a female president, she get mad, she hit the nuclear bomb button, you piss her off.
Hey, let me tell you something, man. That's not even the biggest problem, dude. If you're gay and you and your guy will be the first man. That has to be the most outrageous title that you would ever be given.
Well, Kamala husband, what is he? He first, you know what I'm saying? He first something.
Yeah, but but she's not president though. And I don't think a lot of people have.
You think she can be president, bro?
No, I don't think so. Nah, I don't think people are. I'm be careful what I say here. I don't think she has the mystique of a Michelle Obama.
No,
she don't have the grace or the to me she doesn't have. I'm trying to be careful. I don't have the source in front of me, but she don't have the grace or the elegance or the presence of a Michelle Obama he seems more inclusive, whatever. If you look back at some of the stuff that Kamala has done, she has put a lot of black folks in jail in the state of California, man, for some bullshit, for like weed and things like that, for some petty crimes, so to speak. So she has a track record that will not follow her well to the White House with black folks. And
hell, Biden was just as bad with the crime bill.
But Biden married a white woman. Let's keep it real, bro. Let's keep it real, Jack. Right. If I ran for president and I had a white wife, come on, bro. We already know how that's gonna go down. It won't go down, man. People vote for Gary Coleman before they vote for me. He's dead.
My sister always tells me I need to run for office.
You should, bro. You should. I think you.
I'm gonna have to cut ties with you first. you like Jeremiah Wright. He like Jeremiah Wright. I'm about to cut ties with you.
Hey man, listen. Where you go, I go. I'm gonna follow you to the end. If you run for political office, man, I'm gonna play the fuck out of these Podcases clips to let the people know that we are one. Wherever you go, I go. We are one. You know what I'm saying? So we're like a tag team, man. We're Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson. We're the Rock and Roll Express, man.
Man,
you know what I'm saying? But
on a more somber note, man, before we continue on, man, condolences to the family of Miss Chelsea Christ, the young lady who was a lawyer from Charlotte, who won Miss USA back in 2019. They think it was a suicide today, but reports are saying that she jumped off a building in New York, and today. And she's only 30 years old, man. She was from Charlotte. Very, very nice looking young lady. She had, since she became Miss USA, I think she was working for the news station Extra. But today, I think around 2:00, she was found, and the police are saying it's an apparent suicide. She jumped from a building on 42nd Avenue up in New York, man. So
So condolences to her family, man.
Definitely.
We kind of talked about if it comes out if alleged that it's accurate that she did commit suicide, whatever. You and I kind of talked about putting the show together about dealing with mental health and things of that nature. And we had a couple of people that we wanted to talk to, share some light on that, because I think a lot of people deal with mental health. Whether depression and things of that nature, and that is an often overlooked aspect of life, just depression and things of that nature. Mental health is super duper important, man. You know what I'm saying? So
you never know. That's what I was telling somebody. Like, you just never know. You say, oh man, this Miss USA, she's pretty, she's already a lawyer. You never know
what someone's dealing with.
Right. She was a Division I athlete, ran track at University of South Carolina. You know what I'm saying? Went to Wake Forest for law school, working at a big firm, making good money, blah blah blah. And, you just never know, man.
You never know what somebody's dealing with, man. And a lot of times, and you mentioned something aspect of money and things of that nature. And I always told people, man, and when I was younger, before I got into the whole professional realm, whatever, seeking professional employment and things like that, I always thought money was super important. And I got more into it and things of that nature. And I always I left behind 2 good employers because I wanted to seek happiness as above money. And I think a lot of times people seek that money aspect as opposed to just being happy. Happiness is an often overlooked thing in dealing with life, relationships, workplace, whatever. To me, you have to make sure you're happy before you anything else in this world. Before your husband, before your wife, before you're married, before you're professional, before you're a doctor, whatever. Just try to make something that you're happy. Do whatever it is to make you happy. So I tell my girls all the time, man, whatever the aspirations in life are, I'm going to rock with you and support you because your aspirations are not mine. So I want to make sure that you're completely happy in whatever you do in life. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And another thing, man, I ran across today, again, RIP to Miss Christ. But another thing I ran across today, it's a cool story that was on Twitter, man. So this guy says that once Andre 3000 was on his ferry ride to Alcatraz, and he said hi. So he said his 6-year-old autistic son came over and started talking Andre's ear off about German Shepherds because that was his son's obsession at the time. So he says Andre talked to him about dogs for like 20 minutes. He said they exchanged numbers, right? And 4 years later, he gets this text from Andre 3000. The text says, "Hi, Jason. I was searching for a name and yours popped up. I remember our cool encounter on that boat. Ha. How's the kid? I'm living in New York City now, so if you're ever here, please reach out." Man, Andre 3000 is just, it seems like just the dopest guy, right, man? Like that is, how awesome is that, bro?
That's super awesome, bro. Sometimes you never forget you never forget a conversation. A lot of times you don't forget a conversation, man, and especially one like that. I never forget one of the most important conversations I've ever had with a human being ever. And I think I told you this when I told you about Future Astronaut, whatever. But I had a conversation with Ronald McNair when I was in elementary school, probably like first or second grade. But sometimes you never forget those conversations. But especially something like that, get a text back from them.
4
those-
years later.
That's crazy, bro. That's crazy, man. I never forget it. And, you know, the thing is, like, yo, he always say, just, hey, you believe in yourself. All I remember is that blue suit, that blue flight suit he had on, and he was an astronaut. I didn't know what that meant, but all I heard that black man looked at us at a lunch table and say, yo, whatever you want to do, just believe in yourself. Believe you can do it. I always believe that. I always look back at that. So damn, yo, salute to Andre 3000. He seemed like a dope guy. Him and J. Cole seem like the dopest people ever.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like because you get so wrapped up in everyday life, man, and because sometimes people might call me or inbox me and be like, they son in the third grade. Oh, my son won't be a lawyer. Like, damn, we let him graduate high school first.
But
I've never said
that's
no.
your responsibility, though. That's your responsibility.
Right. Oh yeah, it is, man.
It is.
You know, service. It's always been said, service is the rent you pay to live on earth. You know what I'm saying?
I believe that.
I've never been like, nah. Yeah, I'm always talk, hey man, we'll do this, make good grades, do whatever you need to do the opposite of what I did. You know what I'm saying? But
yo, help somebody, bro. Help somebody. I always believe that. Help somebody.
Man. That's your thing. I've always, you know, and I say, man, you do live up to that, man. You know what I'm saying? Because
you know, everything that I've done after being in the professional realm forever and being on my own and everything like that, someone has helped me or thrown me a bone or supported me in some kind of way, you know, including you buying our shirts when we first started and things of that nature. I believe in always helping somebody, whether they're on Instagram, you throw a post down and say, hey, look, yo, salute to you, whatever. I'm always rocking with you. Whatever you got there, I'm gonna rock with you. Any way I can help you, I'm gonna help you, because that's how we rock as a, you know, and don't ignore people, man. If you can help them, help them. You know what I'm saying? I tell a story that Si and I did a podcast for this young man who was in college, and we didn't have to. You know, we took time, you know, Si's a fucking busy attorney. You know what I'm saying? He took time one afternoon, and we spoke with this guy for about an hour or something. It was really dope. But he didn't have to do that, and we didn't have to do that, but we did. But you know, help somebody, bro. If you can, you got the ability to help somebody. Help somebody without keeping score. And what I mean by this is, I don't want to bring that shit back up. Hey, man, you know, man, fuck that. Help somebody without keeping score. You know what I'm saying? If you loan somebody some money, fuck it. Don't bring that shit up every time. Yo. Let it go.
You ain't got to post about it. You ain't got to post about it. You know, people post. They'll take the picture of the money leaving your hand going to theirs.
But you know, one thing about it though, when you do ask for that money, it always some funky ass $20. That money becomes funky then. Like, oh, you want that funky ass $500? Yeah, motherfucker. Yeah, it wasn't funky when I gave it to you.
And let me tell you another thing, man. Since we're on the topic, is the life is so much about relationships, man. It's so about relationships and relationships that you make with people and that you have with people. And you know, I've always told people, man, like, you say, oh, Chris, man, you give out so much free advice, and people call. Man, I'm at the point people call. They're not even calling for themselves. They calling for other people. Hey, my cousin wanted to say that quite a bit. You know what I'm saying? But
it sounds good at that.
It's kind of like, you know, the relationships that you make with people, man, and the way the stuff circles back around. And I've always said that one of my goals in life is to be that when I call people, they pick up the phone. That's see what I'm saying? Yeah. People don't pick up the phone when you call them and they know you always want something. And I've got so many relationships that when I call people and I ask them for something, it's immediately like, oh yeah, man, because you've done so much for me. You ain't never asked me for nothing. Right. And I think you just have to look, man. It's about relationships, man. Because you get on your day-to-day grind and you forget, man, people might not actually know another lawyer, or they might not know another person who can do this for them. I mean, think about how many people call us and be like, hey, man, I want to talk to you about podcasting. And in your head, you're like, God damn, another podcasting conversation. But you know what I'm saying? Like, buy this, buy that. It's a lot of work, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but you want to have that conversation because you don't know what podcast going to blow up. And they be like, man, you know what? When I ain't had nothing, Sean and Chris was right there. Like the young man you spoke about, we talked to. Yeah. I told you when we got off, I was like, man, this kid is 19 and he's this ambitious. Man, he can't go nowhere but up.
Can't go nowhere, but you know, speaking of relationships, man, I'm gonna say something really quick here. But Ricky Smiley said something about, he was on Pierre's show last week, and he said when he was just starting out, the first comedian he ever saw, black comedian ever saw perform was Pierre, and he said the way Pierre treated him, and when he got on the show, he told him like, "Yo, what you did for me back when I was nobody, and you spoke to me and told me what I to help me be better. I still hold on to that to this day." But it was a very emotional thing. They had that conversation, but I thought it was really dope. But speaking of relationships, man, Valentine's Day is coming up, and we, the podcast, is Sean and Chris. We talk about relationships all the time and try to help people find the love of their life and everything like that.
I don't talk about relationships. Go ahead. I digress.
We're gonna help spice up somebody's Valentine's Day next week with our show, episode 29. We're gonna help 3 young ladies spice up their love life for Valentine's Day. We're gonna give away a very nice Valentine's Day to 3 young ladies next week on the show. So this is a compliment of one of our Facebook followers and supporters of the show. We're gonna get into more of that, but we just wanted we want to give back and give love to the people, to the podcast nation, man. And we're gonna help these 3 young ladies spice up their Valentine's Day with their side piece or their husband, whatever one you decide you want to use. That's what with spice up your Valentine's Day.
Oh yeah, man, it's gonna be interesting. What do you have any Valentine's plans?
Unfortunately, I don't, man. It's sad. I do this show to get women, and nothing has popped off for me since. In 28 episodes, nothing has popped up for me yet.
Nothing?
So, nothing. Dude, my phone is dry as shit. There's nobody I can't get nobody to fuck with me, man. I don't know if the things I say on the show or whatever.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah, I know. But I told you last week, and the week before, I told you there's some things about me I need to change, and I'm working on that. But,
I agree with you.
Yeah, but there's nothing popping up for me on Valentine's Day. The way you ask that question makes sense. There's something popping for Valentine's Day. I'm not gonna get into that. But whoever his Valentine's is, you're gonna get a plethora of gifts. I know how he operates.
You know, man, I get more comments about the comments that you make about me about the unfounded comments that you make about me. First of all, wait. No. First of all, when we was roommates, I didn't even have no money.
But you got it now.
I didn't have no car.
Hey, let me tell you something. Hey, Sai is loaded. Let me tell you something. He's loaded. So let me tell you, you can tell somebody with disposable income is what they buy with their disposable income. You know what I'm saying? When you go on a date with Sai, I tell this all the time, and this is no bullshit.
Please don't tell the story. Whatever the story
bro,
is, it's made up.
These young ladies have the time of their life. They pack bags and they do events. They do a lot of things on that day. So normally side dates start around 11 a.m. because you won't need the whole day to finish this shit off. Because there's a lot of things that's going to happen. With me, you're going to drink a cup of coffee. And you come out of your bathroom if you want to. I don't give a shit. But with Sai, you're going to change clothes on dates with him. So I can't imagine what his Valentine's Day is going to be like. So we're taking that week off because Sai going to need some time to spend with whatever he's doing for Valentine's Day.
Man, I can't believe you make this stuff up, man. I get so many inboxes and comments like, "Oh, what can you do for hours and change clothes?" And I'm like, look.
Sai,
Applebee's 2 for $25.
Sai, the only time you ever went to Waffle House was when you and I was hanging out in Raleigh before the show one time. That's the only time you ever been. You were so out of place, and you was wiping the seats down with napkins and shit. You felt so out of place in that fucking Waffle House. I am a cheap motherfucker, but when you're loaded like Sai, you can do other things, man. But with me, you better bring a coupon because I'm there to get to know you and things. Sai's there to blow your mind. But salute to everybody who's rock with us on episode 28, politics as usual, man. We're gonna be back for next week, and we're gonna help some young ladies spice up their Valentine's Day next week. Starting next week, the podcast is gonna help you, and we want all the young ladies to tune in. Dope. Like I said, we're giving away some nice Valentine's Day things to some young ladies. So please tune in. Episode 29 is gonna be epic. You know what I'm saying?
Heartbreak Hotel.
St. Valentine's Day Massacre. Whatever you want to call it. Whatever you want to call it. Cy and I are gonna be here to help you next week to spice up your Valentine's Day weekend because it's gonna be fan-fucking-tastic, man. So salute to everybody who fuck with the Podcases on episode 28. Man, you saw those numbers we put out last couple of weeks, man. God bless us.
Mind blowing, man.
So thanks to everybody who've been rocking with the Podcases, man. We sincerely appreciate you. We sincerely love you. Again, this show is dedicated to our favorite, the Podcast's favorite artist of one of the favorite artists of all time. We want to say once again, happy birthday. Happy birthday to Miss Anita Baker from the Podcases. We do love you. We do love you.
How old did you say she was, man? 60.
We do love you. She's beautiful years old, bro. She's beautiful years old. So I'm not gonna get into that how you disparage Miss Anita Baker, but we love you, Anita. Happy birthday to you. I hope you enjoyed your week.
Man. She looks good to be 64.
She looks fucking great, fan fucking tastic, man. Yes. I'll break her hip.
Picture's probably 20 years old.
But
she looks good to be 64.
Thank you so much, man. So thanks to Cy for everything. We're looking forward to next week about Valentine's Day, with the events he has lined up. He may fly in. What's that guy to play that flute? Is Kenny G? You gonna fly Kenny G in for that young lady?
Andre 3000 playing the flute now.
So salute to everybody who fuck with the cases on 28, man. You got anything you want to say to the good people, bro?
Hey man, I appreciate everybody for listening, man. We know tonight was a different type of show, but that's exactly what we wanted. Hey,
that's what I'm talking about, man. So thanks to everybody fucking with the cases, man. Have a great Sunday night. Enjoy the games, man. And also remember, man, as the Podcasts always say, we sign off, man. Yo, go help somebody do something. God bless everyone. Good night. We give you love, Anita Baker. Happy birthday, baby. Salute.
Peace.